All right, I'm not muting any. What's that?
That's a great way to open up with coughing and sniffling.
Well, you know,
What are you going to do?
When you're forever sick.
Has anyone ever got caught or stuck in a car wash?
That was my trivia question for tonight.
Well, I did. And it wasn't funny. I had to call Bruce and he was laughing at me.
Sounds pretty funny, actually.
It wasn't my fault. It was the guy's fault. He was like, he didn't do something. My car didn't get washed. I almost hit the guy in front of me and then I couldn't get out. And I was like, I called Bruce and I was like, what do I do? And he's like, hey, well, you need to flag down the dude, first off. And second, don't let him know I'm your husband.
Oh, if we had $1 for every time he had to say that, huh? So, I mean, we don't have all night for this because I think this is a long story to find out why you would have any problem in a car wash at all, quite frankly.
Well, we don't have all night. You said that correctly.
Yeah, I did say that correct. But I mean, it does a lot of questions now. So
it wasn't my fault. Let's put it that way. I know you thought that it would be, but it wasn't. My car didn't even get washed. It was dirtier than when it went in.
Anyway, here we go. Tonight, live on the air. Wait for it. All right, the best part of the show, though. All right, it's time to play Myth or Mystery, the weekly panel show where our panel here, with the help of our viewers, decide if the videos or images we're watching tonight are myth, mystery, or unknown. Remember, this series is heavily reliant on our viewers voting on the videos each week, so please share out this video to get more people to join in. Once again, please share out this video so more people can join in. You can only vote for the videos on YouTube at Myth or Mystery Live. So you can comment on the videos from anywhere you're watching from tonight. We do ask that you go to at Myth or Mystery Live to vote, which is the biggest part of the show. The link to vote will be pinned to the top of the comments page. We hope to see you there. Let's meet our panel tonight. Start with myself. My name is Greg Bakken. I am a paranormal investigator and the host of AM 950's Ghost Box Radio with Greg Bakken that airs Monday through Friday at 10:05 p.m. on AM 950, as well as Ghost Box Radio with Greg Bakken Facebook page and other places such as Get Haunted. And every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. So please join us there. Next up is Harlow. Harlow is co-producer, graphic artist, research and video researcher. She works her you-know-what off, and we are very grateful for it. Harlow is also a writer and illustrator with her book, Plugged Into the Paranormal. It's about her lifelong experiences in the paranormal. Harlow's books are on her paranormal experiences, as well as her fiction and art can be found on Amazon. If you have not gone out there to check out the gifts that Harlow has to create these wonderful books and art, please do so. We're going to be hearing and seeing from Harlow throughout the show, but we're going to say goodbye to her right now. Thank you, Harlow, for everything. Up next is Ryan. Ryan is our video analyst and, of course, resident robot. He is a 15-year paranormal investigator and our evidence review go-to guy. He always finds things no one else has found, and whether we like it or not, he's going to hit us with some cold, hard facts, and that's kind of the fun of it, isn't it? And then, I think that's about it. Oh, wait. No, there's no one else. Next up, of course, is Miriam. Miriam is our psychic medium who specializes in remote viewing, aliens, and clearing dark energies. She is also a teacher of spirituality, the paranormal, and bridging the gap between the two. We'll talk more after Christmas, but I think Miriam is going to be joining Ghostbox Radio on a couple segments and stuff that we're thinking and planning on. So we're really excited about that. We'll talk more about that, unless she changed her mind. She should have told me before we started doing this, I guess. Now, if you missed last week's show, first of all, shame on you. It's always available. It was a private home capture that looked like a hand reaching out from behind the wall, and we all had very distinct ideas of what it was. It's worth taking a look at. Check it out on YouTube at Myth or Mystery Live. It's pretty incredible. Now, where we left off here, well, let's just see here. No, time for us to talk. My favorite part of the show. So, Miriam, what's going on?
Well, I don't want to take away from your life events, but I did get stuck in the car wash, like I said. So I'm safe. I'm out. Thanks for asking.
Oh, this isn't from inside your car right now.
Could you imagine? That's how dedicated I am. Oh, look it. Grace, as you all named her, if we remember correctly, she has her little Santa hat on.
So why is Grace not with Harlow?
Because we feel that she's a silly little trickster and that she actually is very happy where she's at, but she likes to mess with us. That's why she was moving around that Halloween night. That's why when you talk to the pendulum, she would jokingly.
Yeah.
That honestly, that was, I asked when Harlow and I were talking about it, Harlow's like, listen, I will happily take her. I'm her aunt. That's my job. But I feel really strongly that she's just a silly little trickster, you know? And when she said that, I was like, oh my God, I love that. I could totally feel that and see that.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I've never seen a doll scream inside itself right now as it's doing. No. Yeah.
Oh, that's hysterical.
We Sarah Jane. We all say stuff that makes us feel better, don't we? You know, it just, you know, if that works for you, that's good. I'm happy.
It did work for me. Listen, I trust Harlow implicitly. And she saw the struggle with the back and forth. And honestly, I was like, I'm very connected to her. So I want her to be happy.
Yeah,
and all right, knock it off. You're so sarcastic. Okay. Tell us what's been going on with you, Greggy.
So for those of you who had, on Facebook and whatever, as you may or may not know, my cat Linus passed away this week. And Linus, I feel, has had such a connection with the paranormal community because he would be on my spirit box sessions, my live ones I would do on Sunday nights. One of my favorite moments that we ever did was when we reached out to Lizzie Borden and with the spirit box, and I was holding Linus. This is on video. And I said, Lizbeth, this is Linus, my cat. Would you like to say hi to him? And at that moment, Linus does this. And he wasn't happy with what was going on there. So I mean,
wow,
he's been a lot of, you know, he's been a big part of my paranormal life for the past 7 years. And he, you know, we all say this about our animals, and it's true. We're never going. I mean, we all have our, you know, we all believe that our animals are the most unique of all. And I think we're all right. I think we are all correct in that. But last night, when I got home, thank you very much. When I got home, my stairs on my main floor, there's a stair that goes up to a couple stairs up to a landing, and then more stairs up to another landing, and a couple more to the next floor. Now I make it sound like that's like, you know, 3 stories in itself. It's just how that's laid out. Linus is I always every night go up to that second landing before going upstairs. I'd go up and I would tap the top of the stairs, and he would come up. and we would spend some time together. I'd rub his belly because he has a big belly, and we would always, do that sort of thing. And last night, there are two lights in that area. One that just turns on automatically because it's attached to outlets. The other you have to turn on yourself. And I haven't turned that on in years and years. It was on last night.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was on last night.
That's incredible.
And it's like a spotlight. I took a picture of it. It's very, it resonates right away to me. And then of course this evening I asked Pendulum, because I've been actually talking to Linus through Pendulum. And when I talk with him, and I'll be like, do you have any idea how much I loved you, all that stuff, the Pendulum just is like, it's a very different vibe. And there's been a very like fresh smell in the house, so like flowers, since he's gone. And it's been, it's not easy. I brought his remains home today from the crematorium, which in itself is that's a step that almost is more painful than the death, because this physical, embodiment of what I consider the perfect looking kitty cat, is going to be cremated. And that, at the time, that's just something that is, you just can't get your head around, and I don't want to really continue on with it, only because it just kind of, we get the point, and we all have pets. And I had a couple people who, you talk about, and they're like, please stop, because they're thinking of their own pets, but I will say one last thing. I went to, when I went to the crematorium yesterday, the guy who is helping me, and he's just like, he was like getting my stuff ready. I went in the back room to say goodbye to Linus, because they have a back room. And it was very emotional. I come out, and he takes my card for payment, and he just looks at me and goes, yeah, I lost a cat 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, so sorry. And he's like, yeah, I never have worked here when I actually lost a cat. When he says he lost a cat, he lost it himself. He totally broke down.
Wow.
And I went from myself grieving to becoming to like someone. I suddenly stopped him, like, you need me. You need me right now. And because of that, I'm actually getting a lot back from you. You know what I mean? It was, so, that is for my little Linus and for his Lou, who passed away.
Oh, wow. His Lou. Interesting.
Yep.
Isn't that incredible? It's like the universe is always in alignment, but it's always hardest to feel the alignment when we are grieving, or if it's horrific, right? But when you are open to the alignment, you see it in moments like that. That wasn't a fluke. It wasn't an accident. It's us witnessing and being open to the alignment, that's around us always, and that we are in always.
And I think for those of us who are really into this, we're actually begging for that alignment. It's like, please don't fail me now with everything that I've been telling everybody else. I need it now. And I've been getting it. So, so
that's
very
beautiful.
Yeah, very interesting. So
thank you for sharing that.
Ryan, what's the obelisk saying?
So right as you said, we're talking about Linus and Lou. Right after you got done with that, it said them. So like the two of them.
Yeah.
And now it just came up with Akasha. So take that for what it's worth, I guess.
The Akashic Records?
Yeah. Like that kind of Akasha.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, until it says Linus, I'm not really gonna believe anything. I'm just kidding, of course. It's
well, earlier before when we were talking about Grace, it said witch.
Yep.
It would be so cool if we were able to have Avi on camera so we could see. Oh, anyway.
Well,
it
maybe
doesn't work on camera. I mean, we
just
can
kidding.
try it again.
Now we're sure
now
that
it just said tag, like tag, you're it. Me.
And we're that's funny. And we're sure that the word witch was about Grace.
All right. Hey, I'll take it as a compliment if it was about me.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, we'd ask about you, Ryan, but we're out of time. Myth or Mystery is an interactive paranormal show with a panel of seasoned paranormal investigators, mediums, plus audience participation. The panel will individually determine myth. Do you have anything to say, Ryan?
I love the way you ask him while he's drinking his beer.
I'm not even watching. I'm trying to read a script here. That's
no. You were just fine
long.
to continue reading, Greg. I won't hold it against you this time.
I just wanted to make sure. I mean, you're important to me, so I want to make sure.
Come on, guys, get the romance over with. We get it.
Leave us alone.
All right.
Dude, I gave that to him, Ryan. I put that together and gave it to him.
That's great.
I'm sure that's not going to be overused at all.
No.
I gotta see if Harlow's laughing. Oh, I can't see. I can't scroll.
Yeah,
up.
she is. She is.
Can't see. Damn it.
That's good.
All right. Let's see. Myth or Mystery is a show that we're on right now. Myth or Mystery myth is not paranormal. Mystery is paranormal. Unknown means not paranormal, but may not be man-made or faked either. The audience is polled throughout the show to determine their analysis of each video. Myth, mystery, or unknown. When the panel is unanimous, the audience polling will be the tiebreaker. The audience will also have opportunities to win prizes via the paranormal trivia question segments. If you're watching on Facebook, please jump over to YouTube to join the polling. YouTube polling is at Myth or Mystery Live. There are nearly as many people creating fake paranormal and UFO videos these days as there are people trying to capture genuine evidence. Add to that the capabilities of modern technology, such as hologram projections, jetpacks, and programmable drones. It's becoming increasingly more difficult to know what is real. That's why shows like ours, Myth or Mystery, are important in helping us to remember to always use our intuition and evaluate with a critical eye. Ryan, let's take a look at the Myth or Mystery community polling page.
Yeah, so as you guys know, every week we like to stay engaged with you over at Myth or Mystery Live at YouTube. Harlow posts all kinds of fun stuff there. Before we get into this week's question, there's a new movie, the new Conjuring movie coming out in September. And Harlow's been tracking the interest that has grown in our community page, around Bathsheba. Each week, beginning this weekend and leading up to our special Conjuring episode towards the end of January-ish, we'll be posting new questions regarding Bathsheba up on our community poll. Miriam, Greg, and Penji will be answering these questions each episode leading up to our January episode. So this week's question is, what do you think is responsible for most UFO sightings? Aliens, government testing, drones and other explainable causes, faked video or editing? For Harlow, she said, not quite sure, but she believes in aliens, but has yet to see a UFO, but also thinks all the options can happen as well. Greg, what about you?
That's a tough one, actually. I think, that's really tough. I think that I'm going to go with, I'm going to say government testing, quite frankly.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, obviously, it's going to be the explainable causes. I think a lot of them are explainable. Miriam, I think I know where you're going to go, but what's your answer?
Honestly, I had to think about this one all day today, because if I answer, which you guys know, I never answer the question directly and I never go with anything that's, but if you answer the question directly, I would have to say drones and other explainable causes, because it's not always aliens. The bulk of it is not aliens. So for me, I would say drones and other, but I know a lot of them are aliens. We just, don't believe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's great. See, I'm right there. Government testing. That's all of the above. There we are. All right. Well, that's cool. So yeah, everyone keep making sure that you are checking out the community poll. It's really fun. And if you haven't figured it out yet, we're trying to create a bit of a community here. So definitely go check it out and join in. We want to know what you think. Now, staying on the theme with our UFO night, we have a special ghost story segment, which Miriam will be showing how she began her communication with aliens.
I'm forgetting that I have to do this. Whoa. Wait, we're missing a box.
Because Harlow's not up.
Harlow, will you come sit up here? Yay. Okay, there. I need the support.
All right.
Hi. So what do you guys want to talk about?
Oh my God.
Well, I understand you have a story.
Okay, so I've been going over, I've never talked about it from like beginning to today like this. Don't worry, it's not going to be a long time. I know Ryan has to go to bed early. My first time actually seeing a UFO was when I was around 18, and I was sleeping on the floor in my parents' room because we were renting this house while we were building another house up in Sacramento. And they had the one wall was all windows looking out into like the forest of Sacramento, which is just nothing but that. And it was not up in like the city. And I woke up. I don't know why I woke up, but I woke up and I saw a ship landing right in front of me. And then I was frozen. And I don't know if I was frozen because I was scared or because of the aliens. And then all I remember is waking up. And I don't even think I ever told my mom that till many, many, many years later, because I was really spooked by it. And then I moved to Los Angeles. And so around the age of 21, I was working as a tarot reader at the Psychic Eye bookstore. And this guy comes in and well, I should preface it before that. After that incident, after seeing the UFO, I did have a couple abduction experiences, but it was all like through my dreams. So I don't think I physically left my home, but I did wake up with marks on my body each time it happened, and it was pretty awful. And so then it was like a year later after those started happening. This guy comes into the bookstore and he approaches me and he says, I'd like to take you out to lunch. There's stuff I want to talk to you about. And, you know, like nowadays, obviously you would never just wander off and do that. But of course I did. And I was like, okay. So then I was like, my lunch break is in a few minutes. And I went and finished up what I was doing. And I turned around and I saw him standing next to the bookcase. And then right in front of my eyes, he disappeared. And then he reappeared. And I was, you know, young and thought that I didn't just see what I saw. But I had. So then we're just having like casual conversation about how I got into tarot reading. And he says, there's something I want to show you. I know this sounds like a raper or a murderer, but it wasn't any of that. So he's like, come to my house and I want to show you a show. He said, have you ever seen the X-Files? And I said, I know what the X-Files are, but I don't watch it. And so I'm assuming that I'm remembering this correctly. I know what I saw, and I'm assuming it's from the X-Files. You guys could tell me. It was a scene where they showed an alien body that had been caught, but it was dead. And that he shows me that scene, and I start bawling. And he's like, "Why do you think you're crying?" And I said, "I don't know, but feels like a family member." And I wasn't understanding what was happening. And he just looked at me and he said, "Well, you're one of us." And at that point, I became very scared. And obviously your whole world looks different because you're like, well, what does that mean? I don't understand. And then he was explaining, which a lot of it I can't share because I guess that's kind of, it's secretive. They don't want us sharing that specific information and not sharing each other's identity. Just to make the story a little bit more interesting, he actually was a famous rock star at one point. Even though I didn't recognize him then because he was already a little bit aged out, a little bit older. And so after that was when my journey sort of began. It took me many years of learning and developing. and then becoming comfortable with the fact that this is where I come from and this is who I am. And so the age-old question is like, so are you an alien or are you human? Human. I'm human. I have my alien roots are very immediate and the strongest, I would say. And then as I developed that, I just began to communicate very easily. And then I started seeing them more regularly, and they would materialize, not fully materialize, but materialize enough so I could see them intuitively. But I would have always told them I'm still nervous for them to fully materialize into an actual body in front of me. I think that would freak me out.
Interesting. So okay. In my research, my interviews with people who've been experiencers, people who have had like you, alien interaction, but maybe even alien origin. Has anybody else in your family step forward to you to let you know that they have also experienced not maybe as deep as what you have, but that there has been something in their life that has had some sort of alien influence?
I don't, unless if my mom's watching, maybe there's something that I'm missing, but no one has come up to me. The only thing I can say is my mom has had a connection, and we've talked a lot about her ability to connect with like geometric signs and signals. And so I feel like she does have a connection there, but it isn't as clear yet.
Because to me, it feels like there's probably going to be more, right?
Mhm.
And what I have, I mean, and doesn't mean it has to be this way, but what I've seen and experienced with other people is that there is that sort of alien lineage with the family. Now it has to start somewhere as well, so maybe it's starting with you, but my guess is, even if they're relatives that have long passed, my guess is that you're not alone.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's very possible. And I didn't get my tattoo till much later in life, till I became really comfortable with just being open about my abilities and such.
I mean, the openness, and that's something that I think is something that is that openness because of, I mean, it has to be because you've come to terms with it. Do you think society itself has helped you to feel that you could be more open?
No.
No, it's just like with the paranormal.
Really? You feel
Yeah.
that with paranormal?
It's a journey, and you reach that point yourself.
No, but what I'm getting at though is like, I really don't find with my own journey, and when I'm talking about my experiences, I guess part of me is I don't give a crap whether or not what other people think, but I haven't really run across anybody who's been outside of our field and outside of what we do that have been like dismissive of it either. So I think that there has been a more of an acceptance of all sorts of things, and I think for me that has made things like, makes me feel like, whether I need it or not, that I'm okay to share some of the stuff I share, because I feel like, if this was even 10 years ago, that might be a very different story.
Yeah, I agree with that, for sure. For sure. And I think it's time and change. The internet helps because you see that you're not alone. Other than my mom, my younger sister now, my younger sister and I have a big gap between us as far as age. So, but no one's been accepting of what I do. Never mind aliens. And what's interesting too, I wanted to mention about my tattoo is whenever very few people comment on it, when they do comment, it's either ew, it scares them, or it's like, whoa. And when people are like, whoa, that's when I'm like, they don't realize it, but they know, and I'll tell them, I'll go, these are alien eyes. And they'll be like, wow. And so that's how, it's almost like you meet your, those of you that have a kinship with that community, whether they realize it or not, that really opens them up to it. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, Greg, no, it's never been, it's always kind of been an uphill battle in that respect. So yeah, it's taken a while for me to settle in, for sure.
Yeah. And obviously everyone's journey is very unique and different. And it's, I suppose I suppose that, I mean, it has to be something to be said. The fact that you are, that you're, if people are not accepting of it, you're still going forward. And I think that's a great thing. That's really what matters.
Yeah. And I think a part of it is also, to be honest, being out here in Los Angeles, it's been many, many years of people pitching shows around me and constantly being told you're not psychic enough, you don't read correctly, you don't read the way TV wants to see, like all these things that really forced me to really understand who I was as a reader, how I worked as a reader. And so it wasn't just family and society. It then turned into, we want to do a show, but you're not looking the right way. You're not acting the right way. And so it's constantly, but I mean, all of those walls forced me to go within and learn about myself even more. So I am grateful for that.
Well, very interesting. Ryan, do you have anything to add? Say?
No, it's interesting. I never knew what that tattoo is about, so that's interesting too. I've noticed it, but I haven't
my alien eyes. Yeah.
That's cool. That's very nice. Anything else you want to add to that? I mean, these are big steps to be able to, to share these very personal stories. I mean, they are very personal.
They are. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Greg, because it was little, me, I love to talk. I have no problem like talking about myself, but that's always that's the first time I've like lined it up. No, it's not an alien DNA implant scenario from what I've been taught, for me at least.
Mm-hmm. Like terms like starseed get thrown around quite a bit. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that I think it's different for everybody. I don't think there's one way, because there's so many different alien families that exist and alien groups and communities that it's no different for me. It's no different than your ethnic background. Like there's just so much, and we all come from so many different places, and there's plenty of us. Like I also am very connected to my Wiccan roots too, so really understanding which one is stronger. It's like, it's different for everyone. So I don't, starseeds exist and are real. I don't know that that's necessarily my situation.
Well, and that's what eventually that's what I was trying to get to. Is that you? Do you see that? Do you think that, or do you not think that? And you kind of saying you don't really know, you don't really have for sure know. But when you talk about your Wiccan, your attachment to Wiccan roots and stuff, do you feel that there is some kind of I guess connection, correlation between the alien side and the Wiccan side?
That's a great question. I mean, I'm sure there is. I think we all just circulate through lifetimes and having different experiences, and we pull from so many different life experiences. For me, my alien roots are, when I connected to my alien roots, it was the first time I felt like home and a true connection, because I never really felt connected. I never felt connected to my family except for my mother. And so my mom and I have talked about that. And when I started to discover my alien roots, it's when I experienced what maybe most people feel when they feel like a part of a family. that's how I finally felt. I never felt that way with my own family. So again, except for my mother. So yeah.
Interesting.
It
Interesting.
is really interesting.
If anyone has anything else that you want to say or bring up for Miriam, this is the time. Otherwise, we're gonna move forward. But I think that this is something worth talking about more over time as well. And especially Miriam, if you feel comfortable and that you feel like that you have come to more of like an understanding for yourself and you want to share, you should do that. I think that'd be really interesting.
Thank
think
you.
that'd be really interesting.
I think the only thing I could say about the connection is I've experienced the planet. I've experienced the siblings and family. I've experienced the energy and the difference between there and planet Earth. And their communication with me of what I'm allowed to, know and what I'm not allowed to know. And because a lot of stuff they say they won't tell me for my own good so that I don't carry information that could get me in trouble. And they're always accessible to me, but they aren't always accessible to me in a public forum. So it always depends.
No, Miriam, when they say that they can't tell you stuff for your own good, why do you think they even bring that up?
Because I ask a lot of questions.
Okay.
I talk a lot. I ask a lot of questions.
And is there a time that we will ever get to know that information?
Yeah, my own good, though, when I say that, they tell me, and they're talking to me right now, actually, they're telling me it's to protect me from getting, government. They've always kept me away from ever engaging in that.
Okay.
Wow. All right. Well, that's incredible. I really appreciate that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Just one last question. How do you feel after telling us all this?
I feel a little odd, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm actually they're talking right now if anyone has any questions about anything, not me.
It's odd. I don't have it.
Somebody asked a question in the chat. Anne asked, is it possible that spirits are trying to manifest, or spirits that are trying to manifest are actually aliens starting to materialize?
There's a lot less materializing than is materializing doesn't happen as often as we are told it happens. It happens very rarely. The main reason for the rarity is enlightened species do not go near Earth because Earth is toxic. And the darker entities will step onto Earth. They will not materialize. Those that materialize or take on human form are very, very rare. Materialization is an act used solely for preserving or saving a unit or family.
Then, as long as we got them right now, it's in the news a lot right now. We have these drones and lights over in New Jersey and the East Coast. Can they tell us anything about that?
Interception. There's an interception and intercepting that's happened. There's humans that started playing and drones were intercepted by alien groups. Some drones are are man-made and man-managed. Some have been intercepted and are being utilized from and by other alien life forms. They are not doing it to damage or scare. They are doing it as a warning to become aware that we are not the only ones in this universe. Stop acting like it.
Now, Ryan, are you aware that the drones were also seen in Anoka and Northwood?
Yeah, they're kind of spreading out across the country right now.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, please thank them for their responses. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
All right.
I'm back.
All right. Wow, that was that's incredible. Thank you very much for that, and thank you for sharing such a personal story as well. And
Thank you for listening.
Of course, and I think that there'll be more to come.
I think so too.
Yeah. So okay, very cool. Are we good to move on to image number one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let's do image number one. You, our friends, the audience, are going to vote before the panel analysis on video number one. It's going to be played a few times. You will then have a total of 60 seconds to complete your vote. It's what we always do, and it's time to get to it right now. Here is image number one.
This video was captured on a cell phone in May of this year, across the street from the Star of Richmond bar in New Zealand. The owner of the video said he does karaoke every Thursday and Friday there, and just happened to look up. When he saw the strange lights, he started filming, though he wasn't aware of anyone else around him noticing the lights at the time. A quick cruise of the neighborhood on Google Earth revealed the area behind the buildings is strictly residential, with some mountains farther off.
right, polls are now closed. Panel's going to begin their analysis. After the panel analysis, you'll all will get your chance to vote again. And here is what we know.
I gotcha. Hold on.
Here's what we know. The video is a cell phone capture from May of this year. The location is across the street from the Star of Richmond bar in New Zealand. The owner was there doing karaoke. He happened to look up, saw the lights, and started filming. He wasn't aware of anyone else around him at the time noticing the lights. A Google Earth inspection of the area behind the buildings where the video is filmed shows residential neighborhood with some mountains farther away.
All right. Well, with that, that's very helpful, and that's a nice new feature. And it answered some of my questions. Why don't we start with Miriam? And Miriam, what is your analysis on this?
So this one for me is mystery for sure, because when Harlow first sent this to me, there was a communication that I felt through the way the lights went around. It's like they did this weird pattern, and there was this odd stillness around the energy of this. I think what I found interesting was the fact that no one else noticed it but him. And a lot of people will say, well, if no one else is noticing it, then it's not really that. And typically, when lights are really big and obvious, whether it's a drone or fireworks or whatever, and but it looks unusual, everyone's drawn to it. But there was this silent, calm presence that this ship generated that was just existing, and it was just really, really beautiful to me. So yeah, so for me, this was a mystery.
Okay, very cool. We're going to mix things up a little bit, and we're going to go to Ryan now. And Ryan, love to know what you thought of this tonight.
Sure. So I took a little clip of it and slowed it down here. What I was looking at is, sorry, hold on, I got the wrong color pulled up. You guys won't be able to see black very well here. What I was looking at is, what is the shape of this? Is it a straight line? Does it go straight across? Is it wavy, triangle? You know, what is it? And when I'm looking at it, it's kind of arcing up and around. I'm not going to draw over it so we can see, but it's not like a straight line. It kind of moves and kind of flows, almost like it's being moved in the wind. And then the way that they illuminate, you know, we got illumination, and then they kind of go down the line as they go. And then it's almost like they're rotating, kind of fluttering back and forth. To me, I've seen this stuff before. I know it makes a lot of people really hotly contested and debated. But I found these clips, both news articles and some articles that were written about them. The one on the bottom right there, to me, is very similar in how they kind of flicker and move. You can see them kind of coming on and down. But these are military flares. You know, they have little parachutes on them. They drop them out of a plane. And if you would actually look at these in infrared, you'd be able to see the smoke trails coming up, because they're actually burning like a white phosphorus type thing. Very hot, and that's why they kind of tend to flicker throughout the night. So what I did, I pulled up a clip of it and I zoomed way in. It's grainy. The video was already zoomed in, and then I zoomed it in a lot. But right here on this one, you can see we have like a trail coming up and kind of another trail on this one, and this one. We have some trails coming up there. I'll get rid of my line so you guys can see that. I don't know if you can see that, but this one is the one that I can see the clearest. And then they all kind of have like a central point here. To me, that's like a smoke trail of that flare falling down through the sky. I went one step further and looked up where this bar was in New Zealand. this is the bar, the Star and Gator, and right here is an Air Force base and a big mountain range going in between them. Now, if they were flying, laying off flares, each one of these other dots is Air Force bases. So they obviously have a lot of Air Force and military bases in the area. They could have been running anything in that area. On a clear night, it wouldn't take much to see a flare from this little distance between these two places. Those flares are way up in the sky. You'd be able to see them. They're super bright. So my opinion, it's a military flare, and that's a myth.
All right. Look at that. All right. I'm going to go. And what we're going to try this time also is going to try to incorporate a little bit what we have, what Miriam and Ryan had said with some of the stuff that I believe for this. And Miriam, the first thing that I had thought of as well was why is no one else seeing this? And if we were to go the mystery route, it could be, always a wonderful thing of like, well, maybe they're trying to, communicate to him. Maybe there's something special there. But, with the things that we know part that you put in there that Harlow made, and she writes, she puts in there that there are mountains behind. And that was my one question, was not with the mountains behind, but rather, what does this place look like during the day? One of the most famous miscalculations of UFO, I think, has been on Paranormal Caught on Camera, episode 1 in Shakopee, Minnesota, where they thought that there were these lights that was like the bottom of the perfectly circular UFO. And what it turned out to be were lights from Mystic Lake, which is a casino, but Paranormal Caught on Camera, they made sure that they still kept it in there and they perpetrated it as a UFO. The way that these were lined up, that they're moving and stuff, to me, right away made me really question that it was real. It just seems, to me, it feels like these type of things, if they look too good, they are probably too good to be true. Certainly, I had no idea about the flares. That's news to me. I had wondered if something was set up like on a mountainside that was lights and stuff that were kind of going in order. Maybe some not experiment, but some presentation, some whatever. And when Ryan was bringing up the military bases and showing us all the military bases all over the place, one thing that came to my mind went back to your like, why is no one else noticing this or really, paying attention except he is? And it makes me wonder. He owns a bar. He's always inside at night. He's doing the karaoke and stuff. Maybe if they've done it in the past, and maybe they never have, I don't know, but say that they've done it in the past, a lot of people are aware of this. A lot of people have seen this, but he's always been too busy in his bar and he'd never seen it before. and perhaps that's why it was something for him, but maybe not for anyone else. That's my take. Ultimately, though, I say that I agree with Ryan and that this is a myth.
So yeah, I think he doesn't own the bar, right, Harlow? He's just a guy who frequents the bar. And then we had a few pictures of the front of the bar, because I know you said you wanted to see the we did I think it was included in the hold on, for anyone, we pulled pictures of that and we had a Google map of the surrounding area of the bar. Let me see. Yeah,
I see Harlow says he doesn't own it.
Okay.
Doesn't change my opinion though. Doesn't change where I stand with it though.
Yeah, just for anyone in the audience, if they're interested in that, we have the front of the bar, right, Harlow? And then we had we mapped it out. So if anyone's interested in that, we have that too. We're trying to collect more information. So for anyone who's ever interested in us analyzing it, we can supply you with that information. Okay, so I can pull that down while we do the audience analysis.
All right, what do we got for numbers?
Let me go into. Hold on.
Yeah, this one actually surprised me. We were pretty much right across the board at about 30%. So 33, 38, and 27. Pretty split audience tonight, which is pretty neat.
So once again, just so the people are clear that we have all the information right, I erroneously said that he owned the bar. That is not the case, because I think to some that make a big difference in how they vote and stuff if they're listening to what we're saying. I still believe it's a myth, but just want to be very, very clear about that as well. All right, so did your analysis change? Whether it did or not, please vote again. We really want to know this. We want to know the panel shifted your viewpoint on image number 1. And remember, even if your analysis did not change, please vote the same one more time. And let's get that countdown going right now. All right, well done. So the panel has given their analysis. Now it's time to hear what the audience has to say.
Okay, I'm coming. I was just pulling up this photo of the outside. It doesn't show the surrounding areas, but it does show, let me see. Oh, I can't open it as this file.
Here, just share mine. I got it.
Okay, good. Hold on. Oh, perfect. That's the one I wanted. So that's
what it looks like.
that one. Okay, so let me see. Let me go into the comments.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Was not a residential neighborhood. It was a business. Joshua wasn't able to vote. I hope it's working. Hi, Jeremy. Jeremy's here.
Hey, Jeremy.
Anton Ryan has good points. Are the homes built on the side? I don't know. Harlow, did you notice if homes were built on the side of the mountain? You did kind of a walkthrough of the Google Maps.
It's a fairly populated area, but I didn't know. It's not like a huge mountain either.
Well, and I'm trying to think if because where he took the video is maybe about a street, like on the other side of the street, right? And I don't know if the mountain would be large enough for it to be like the lights on the mountain, like I was thinking.
Yep. On the left-hand side of that picture, you can kind of see where the mountain kind of comes in.
Yeah.
Let me see. Residential area. Oh, so residential area behind the commercial area, then mountains behind that farther off is what Harlow said. Okay. So thank you for that. I think that's everyone. Hold on. Oh, KD Paranormal says it kind of looks like a helicopter. I said tell him could be a hologram. Yeah.
Interesting.
Let me see if there's anything else. That's everyone. Yeah. So now hold on. Let me go into our No. Here we go. Okay, we got our numbers.
Okay.
Maybe. We went to 50% myth, 33 mystery, and 16% unknown. So we flipped some people over to myth.
Really did.
Yep. Well, it's interesting. And so Miriam, based on Ryan's analysis, it doesn't change your vote at all, does it?
No. Just because there's military bases around doesn't mean there aren't still alien ships that hover. I mean, you have both, and at the end of the day, it's feeling out what's the feel? What are you feeling from it, right? And if you're intuitively, when she sent it to me, I was mesmerized. I just couldn't stop staring at it. I was like, and I don't, I mean, I've seen my share of like people sending me stuff that are apparently alien UFO ships and stuff. And for the most part, there isn't a strong connection to it. But this one, I definitely, for me, I definitely felt it.
Interesting. All right. There you go. All right. Very interesting video. Okay, as we move on, because we still have a lot more to get to. It's time for Myth or Mystery Viral Video of the Week, brought to you by Ghost Inspector Greg. We're going to play Ghost Inspector Greg's Viral Pick of the Week, and you'll then have time to vote Myth or Mystery. Remember, folks, how this works every week. If Mystery receives the most votes, that video will be analyzed on an upcoming show. If Myth receives the most votes, the video will not be analyzed and will be shot into the sun. Voting is open on YouTube at Myth or Mystery Live, and we are going to go ahead and play that viral video and see what Ghost Inspector Greg has for us this week.
Welcome back to another Viral Videos with Ghost Inspector Greg. Let's get into it. Question: what is going on in our eastern skies? Some sort of drone invasion or craft? Hundreds of them invading our East Coast. Are these man-made or are these alien? Even our own government has no explanation other than they're coming in from the ocean. Do you think it's myth or mystery?
People in Northfield keep seeing mysterious lights in the nighttime sky. The sightings come as people on the East Coast report seeing large drones that they can't explain.
And the East Coast sightings now have the FBI's attention, with the White House even chiming in. Fox 9's Mike Manzoni spoke with eyewitnesses in Northfield tonight. And Mike, they're not sure what they're looking at.
Yeah, but they say what they're seeing is similar, maybe not the same, but similar to what people are seeing in New York, in New Jersey. Here's one video here where you can kind of see one or two orbs kind of hovering, floating around. At times they move, eventually disappear. What are they? No one knows.
We started trying to follow them, but they won't be followed. They're kind of like they disappear.
Deborah Wagner doesn't know what she keeps seeing over her Northfield home.
And then these things, whenever anybody would kind of come towards them, they'd back off.
But her daughter, Chrissy Grady, sees them too.
Are these UFOs? Are they a government thing? Like, what are they?
It's really low.
I know it is.
You gotta follow it. There's another one up there.
Oh, crap.
Chrissy and her kids took this video when they saw flashing lights that moved away after they spotted them.
Well, it obviously sees me. I gotta pretend like I'm actually driving. Watched both of them. So now there's 4.
They started seeing the lights over the summer, and now it's a nightly thing.
They would come and kind of like hover, and then we would go outside, and then they would leave.
About 1,000 miles away in New York and New Jersey, this is what people are seeing in the skies. Eyewitnesses say they look like SUV-sized drones, and those sightings now have even the White House's attention.
Obviously, this is something that DHS and FBI are tracking very, very closely.
Well, I don't want it to come closer.
As for what Chrissy and her mother Deborah keep seeing here in Minnesota, well, they don't know.
Right now, just the unknown is driving us crazy and making us mad.
But they do know what you're probably thinking.
I was like, oh man, everybody's gonna think, oh, go have another glass of wine, Mom.
And Chrissy says she did reach out to the sheriff's office, but they didn't have any answers for her.
All right, after trivia, we'll announcing polling numbers from the viral video segment. Please share with us the viral videos that you are interested in, whether they make you feel something intuitively, or if you're curious if it is a myth or mystery. We want to know the why behind you choose that particular video to submit to us. Please submit to our website, mythormysterylive.com. Your name will remain anonymous if you choose. It's very interesting because that is actually a newscast from our local news. Actually, Fox 9 is our local news, and actually they are literally a block from my radio station. Really interesting.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, as this heavy alien night, UFO night, you know what it's time for. All right. This is a little bit more. Do you want to talk about the candle?
We got a scented candle, myth or mystery scented candle. What you've been waiting for your whole life. There you go. You could win that.
And you can buy it.
More importantly, you can buy it.
More
We're poor. Please support us.
As well as t-shirts and mugs and
literally everything you just saw.
Yep.
Do we need to roll that again?
Well, see, I'm not watching the videos. So there's that too. So okay, here we go. I'm gonna be very elastic with the answer in this one, but I'm not gonna tell anyone how. You'll know when you know. And the question, and you're gonna have 5 seconds to answer the question, and no cheating. But if you win, you get your name in Scully, and that you have the opportunity to win some of that merchandise if your name is picked in early January 2025. So the question is tonight, what year was the term grays first used to describe an alien? What year was the term grays first used to describe an alien? You have 5 seconds to answer the question. What year was the term grays first used to describe an alien? Like I said, I'm going to be flexible on it. That would have been a obvious choice, but it's not. Nope. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. And this is why. There isn't a definitive documented moment when grays was first used to describe an alien. The term gained widespread usage following the Betty and Barney Hill abduction case in 1961, where the abductees described beings with characteristics that later became widely recognized as grays, particularly due to the subsequent publicity and dramatization of their story in the 1970s. So Katie's Paranormal, congratulations on that. And congratulations on me for a great question, I guess. So there is that as well. Okay, are we ready? Let me get the snare drum out. Here we go.
Ready. Congratulations to me. That was funny.
Why? It's true.
All right.
All right. So from there, thank you. That was fun. For once, this was fun. Let's see here. Where are we at?
we need the viral video results.
All right. Where are we at? Well, I would have been disappointed if that was flung to the sun, because it's breaking news in the paranormal community. So we want that.
All right.
Yeah.
No,
we can talk about it when we analyze it.
All right. There we go.
38%, 61% mystery.
I thought we had roles on the show. I guess not.
We do. I was going to comment on the video, but we can wait.
Yeah, don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Now, here's the thing. We're not doing a second trivia question, but I actually did have a second trivia question that I'll save for next time. It's interesting. I have it down there. I couldn't remember it. I guess I'm not doing well with my memory. I don't know. Maybe I should get that looked at. Okay, so with that being said, that scary reality, let's move on to image number 2. And audience, you're going to vote before the panel analysis on video number 2. It's going to be played a few times. You'll then have a total of 60 seconds to complete your vote. Let's take a look at video number 2.
A wedding videographer in Toledo, Ohio, captured something unusual with his drone in October of this year. He wasn't aware of it until reviewing his footage later and saw the white anomaly as it accelerated across the sky. When he posted the video on social media, the image caught immediate attention and was featured on the local news. Some area residents claimed to have seen something similar, while others questioned its authenticity, noting that the object only accelerates when the camera pans to the side. To date, this video has amassed thousands of views.
All right, panels are now closed. Sorry, the polls are now closed. The panel is still open. We haven't even panelized yet. After the panel analysis, you'll get your chance to vote again. Polls are now closed, so it's in there twice. Nice job with the script tonight, and nice job with me. And nice job with me reading it beforehand.
Nice job reading it too.
Yeah, right. After the panel analysis, you'll all get your chance to vote again. But first, here is what we know.
Here's what we know. This video was captured by a videographer using a drone in October of this year. The location is the Toledo, Ohio skyline. The videographer reviewed the footage the next day and discovered the anomaly zipping across the sky. He says the video has not been edited. He shared the footage online, hoping to get opinions as to what it might be. A local news station saw it and shared the story. Then the online video went viral.
All right, so let's start our analysis here, and we are going to start with Miss Miriam.
For me, this one is a myth. It is, you can feel the density to it. You can feel the man-made material. So not much more to say other than, for me, myth.
Myth, just as simple as that. Ryan, we move on to you with this.
Yeah. Let me know when you're ready.
Greg, can you add him? I can't. Oh, there it is. Now I can scroll up. You got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I just took it kind of real slow here. I blew it up. We got the white circle here. And then a couple things make me question this. First off, why is this drone sitting way up there looking at the light? And why does the drone move at the same time that this thing moves? The streaking light behind it, we can't really count that as like exhaust or anything like that. If you look at all the cars that are on the bridge here moving, all of their lights are kind of streaky too as we go along. It's just because the drone is moving the camera and it's trying to catch up to everything. It's what happens when you move a camera when you're recording. Things get weird. It's a myth. I don't know what it is, but it's a myth. It's probably just a helicopter or something, or even a plane that was flying at them and then it turned. It could be any number of things, but it is not paranormal myth.
Very good. I will go next, and I'm just going to reiterate what my learned friends have said with this, and I've like Miriam says, the density of it. And at first I wondered if it might have been like a reflection or something, because that's the one thing, Ryan, that just keeps with me too, is like when in Harlow's video, when she says that it only accelerates when the camera is moving. Why would it do that? There just is no reason for that, unless it's something that's attached to the camera, where my mind went to like, is it picking up some kind of light or something, not like a reflection or something. I mean, there's just something that's just, and I don't doubt for a second that this gentleman, he thought he got something. I don't think there's any sort of attempt at trying to fool anybody. I just don't think that it is what he thinks it is, and I'm going to say myth on this as well.
I would also kind of add there that it feels like a promotional video. If I catch something like that, I don't know that my first instinct is going to be to go to the news with it and share my profile page to my business as their header for the news.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. It's there's certainly, all I think we can agree on, it's not alien, right? So do we have any pre-analysis numbers?
Yes.
Pre-analysis, we're at 53% myth, 30% mystery, and 15% unknown.
All right. Well, here we go. Once again, if where are we here?
Did your analysis change?
I can't find anything. Did your analysis change? Whether it did or not, please, everyone, go vote again. We want to know if the panel shifted your viewpoint on video number 2. And remember, even if your analysis has not changed, we want to please vote again, because we want to see the numbers in whole. Here is the countdown again for video number 2. All right, so the panel had given their analysis. Now let's hear what the audience had to say.
I want to post this first. I thought it was funny. And go ahead.
I had Moon Girl on the show last night giving 2025 predictions, and she said 2025 is not going to be a good year for Ohio as it happens. So,
you lost me at drone, warp speed, but unsure. Jeremy, we cannot get we're not able to connect to your page. So you got to get with.
Yeah, maybe Jeremy, or you and I could talk. I don't think it has anything to do with you actually. Like with, I don't there. It's something with StreamYard, but we can maybe talk, and you can maybe help us.
So he's saying the camera moved the exact same time as the object does, makes me skeptical. Seems staged with friends on the other side of the city. Laura says hi. Hi, Laura. So that's all we got. So let's see what the numbers are, because I know Ryan wants to go to sleep. Hold on. I got them. They are. I mean, the good thing is people are listening.
Yeah, they are. 75% myth, 8% mystery, and 16 unknown. So we moved some votes there.
Yeah, well, thank you for voting, folks. That's great. Very interesting videos tonight. Very interesting conversation tonight, especially with Miriam sharing very personal information story. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and remind ourselves what we've done here. You know, apart from Miriam getting it wrong with the first video.
First video, Greg, you and I voted myth, and the audience eventually came around to voting the right way.
Yeah.
The second video is myth across the board, pretty clearly that one.
Very clearly. So yeah, and so with that, Harlow, what do you think of tonight?
It's an interesting show, interesting videos, and I really appreciate Miriam sharing her story. I think there's a lot we can do, more questions we can ask going forward.
Absolutely. And, you know, hopefully, you know, folks, with, you know, Miriam sharing her experiences, myself sharing my Bigfoot, Harlow sharing her experiences, that feel free to share yours with us. Remember, folks, this is a safe place. So, you know, we have fun. We do the game show part. We do the voting, but it's also so that we all can learn a little bit more about what's out there and get different viewpoints as well. Folks, anything else you want to share before we wrap it up for tonight?
No, I thought it was a great show. I was just going to say also what you shared about Linus was really awesome. Linus and Lou, was it? And
Lou, yep, Lou. Yeah.
It was a very touchy-feely show. I liked it.
It was. And
the witch behaved herself.
Right.
Because she's Santa hat on. That's why.
It was because she's just like, wow, it's been said. I'm not leaving here. Yeah.
She's crawling in somewhere deep inside of herself now.
She wishes that she was Woodworm right now so she could escape. I should note though that Avios died halfway through the show.
Oh.
It was at 3/4 charge, so yeah.
Oh my god, and you got to use the other sound effect, which was hysterical.
Yeah, but it's only geared towards you.
I know.
So, you know, when the more you act up, which will happen very soon. For those who wanted to know.
Leave us alone.
There we are. All right. Thank you for joining us on Myth or Mystery. Each week, we bring new videos for you and the panel to weigh in on. If you caught paranormal on camera, or you have an extraordinary ghost or alien experience you'd like to share, please send it through our website at mythormysterylive.com. If you enjoyed our show, please like and share it. You cannot imagine how important it is. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We'll be back next Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, here on Myth or Mystery. Everybody have a fantastic week. Sit, good dog.